Hello, hello, good morning. Hi, Methor. How's it going? Are you ready in a trade? How's it going? It's a beautiful morning. Oh, it was a horrible day yesterday, wasn't it? It wasn't an easy day. But um, let's get straight into it. I mean, I noticed something really interesting on the daily. We had this big N walk, right? And look at the daily. This is the Monday candle. Monday. So we got a Monday low here. And obviously, well, we created the N walk here. But look how the bodies from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are exactly in the N walk, right? So and it looks pretty bearish. The bodies are above the 50% as well. So just 1 second, hold on. So you see they're above 50%, right? So that is, I think, very bullish, right? We do have the wicks here, so the only thing that I'm thinking about, are we going to go back into the wicks? But I don't know. I think we looks very extremely bullish here. Um, let's see. Now, what did I grade? I think I graded this daily wick here on NQ. Let me just go back. Yes. So you see this wick that I graded? That is this daily wick here. So let's see. If we're going to reject here, and what level? Oh, I already see a level that is here. Let's see. So that is NQ. I just wonder if we can wick further down into this N walk and just maybe, go into these wicks, but then on the higher time frame, it will become a wick, right? Because the bodies are showing definitely bullishness. So that's NQ, but it's just actually, look at these 3 days. Just all inside days of Monday, giving the price action that we had, right? So let's see if we can get out of this. We want the body close out of this. So let me see what we see on the 4 hour here. Yeah, obviously we did get 4 hour out of it, but so this is the high here is at exactly 0.13 level. Yes, and we have a 4 hour fair value gap here that we have equals now here. So this is the range that we are looking into to see if we're going back down, right? So let me mark this range. I want to have a fair value gap here. I'm going to mark it on this one here just to make sure, because I've got so much. I want to keep this data here because I need this data. But I want the 4 hour FUG on my working screen. Let me do it like this here. Let me see. 4 hour, where are you? I'm going to get rid of these. And obviously we're still checking the 130 and the micro. Oh, hold on. I don't want to lose that one because we might. There we go. That one because that might be applicable because that was yesterday's fair value gap that was printed in the 132. Okay, here we go. Hold on, guys. But these gardeners, these people, they only can, they don't know how to talk normally. They just yell. So I always have to. I don't want them on my their sound. They're talking on my stream. Yeah, so it's very interesting when we are in between. Method, do you use the event horizon? Do you use that on your in your analysis. Let me show you. I'll show you on gold how important it is. I'll go over gold, and then you can see how you can use the event horizon in your analysis, right? Let me quickly go back here. Oh, shit. I'm sorry. I still need to wake up a little bit. I'm so tired lately. I don't know why. Doing stupid things as well. Okay, so I've got this 4-hour FUG, and this little one is yesterday's 2 in the range. Okay, event horizon. Let's go. Where are you? I need this one here, and I need this one here to make sure that we have all the NWOGs. Yeah, so we are still in this NWOG, but the moment we get out of it, then we're bullish. The midpoint between these two will become very important. I graded something else, but let's see if this point that I don't think so, but let's see what the midpoint is between, because that's what oh, it comes very close. Well, not really. Well, we have to keep that. Once we start going out of this range, you'll see a line here plotted because it's automated, and then that comes into play. But I find it very fascinating because I didn't see that yesterday, that the bodies on the daily are above the 50% line, like you see here, right? The bodies are over the 50% line. They did not go below. So that shows that's sort of an indication of bullishness, right? And we still have this fair value gap here, also on the daily, on the 4-hour, where we need to go into. So then the event horizon comes in play, the midpoint between those two. So keep that in mind. You just have to find a good entry, right? Yeah, it really helps. But there are levels sometimes before the event horizon, like another daily high, a daily midpoint, a weekly high, daily midpoint. So you always have to look, because sometimes it just doesn't, it will go there eventually, but it doesn't go there sometimes in a straight line, only when you have a low resistance liquidity run. But it will stop a few times before that. But then you have that as a longer, like a higher time frame bias, right? For the day, for example. We see we're going to go over this, and for example, what I will monitor now for today on NQ is how are we going to react in this wick? Are we going to go over 50%? Because then the event horizon will come and play for me. And I will look for other levels as well. But this is now important until we are going out of this wick here, how we're behaving. But we definitely will reject a couple of times in this wick before we go up. It's simple. It's just it's just all simple. Okay, so talking about the event horizon and how it really helps. On gold here, we did have the 4-hour here, right? We made this large wick, and then we just did not go below the event horizon for quite a bit. And then in this candle, we did go a little bit below it, and here again. So, but then again, we went over it, and now we are here. But the question is, we made a, a flat bottom with a little wick here, right? So, so I was sort of like hoping that we would not go down below the event horizon, because it sort of like will give you the indication that we're ready for the move up. But on the other hand, it made sense that we have to go into this large wick, and we did that here. But then this flat bottom here, I don't know. Are we going to go first up and then down? Likely. So we rejected here at 2. Exactly at 2, a standard deviation. Now let's see. So I find NQ a little bit more easier now to navigate, because it's sort of like a little bit clearer to me, because we could go lower in this wick right here, or in this fair value gap, right? I don't know. Let's see. What do you guys think? So for me, it's like easier to navigate. Like we've got this 4-hour FUG combined with this wick. My targets are easier to, like here, the 0.66 here is exactly the first presented fair value gap of the midnight. So that's a target that I could play around with, right? That's 7221, but almost there. Then we have this midpoint here, also in that 4-hour wick, and then we have this here, 0.33, which is around the 930 price. So for me, my levels are easier to read now. On NQ, if we go into that 4-hour wick, 4-hour FUG, combined with this wick information, it's a little bit easier to play for me. to navigate. I don't know if you guys feel similar, or are you like, oh no, gold is, I feel like playing gold. And I wonder if we are going further down this, if we're going to tap into one of these wicks, but it doesn't. The bodies have stayed above it all 3 days. So we have a Monday low. I'm already plotting the weekly TGIF levels because I always look at the how are we in the week, right? This is the weekly range from here to here. Now the question is, what are we going to do? Are we going to go retrace into the weekly range, or are we going to expand the weekly range? And then we have this level, obviously, will go upside with it. So I I think the higher time frame and Q looks pretty bullish, right? I mean, I don't think it's a bearish profile if you look at the higher time frame. I could be missing something, but it does look to me like we're just we're just working our way in this end move, and then we're gonna make a move higher. We've got a flat bottom here, flat top, I mean. Gosh, I'm so tired. I'm making all these mistakes. Like I'm not really talking, I can't even make my words properly. So the only thing is we need to find a good entry, right, for a good trade. I did manage to take a trade to the downside yesterday. It wasn't really clean. It was just like, okay, we didn't even reject almost at the an old daily open, and it went further down. So I just, I just had a few levels already charted, so I just took it down after that. You could see it was so weak, and time as well. I think it was even before 9:44. Can't really remember, but I thought, okay, it's a safe, just market order in and write it down a little bit. Not very, yeah. I mean, I make those trades as well, but it's not really clean setup wise. I did miss there was S&T as well on the top. And what I also noticed was on NQ, it hit my 125 level as well here exactly. I didn't see that. I wasn't watching actually, to be honest, because I thought, it's 30-year, 1-year bond auction, 10-year bond auction. So I didn't feel like really being in the market. When I saw the drop, I was like, okay, this is interesting. And in hindsight, when I was doing my journaling, so how I use this 1.25 a lot, and that really indicate it just helps me a lot with with larger retracements. So here you see it exactly, right? And it's just how I calculate it, just body to body from the manipulation moves, higher time frame, but also on the lower time frame it does work. So here you see 1.25. There was S&T. Yeah, it was a very the move was predictable, I guess, at some point. I did want to see go here, and it did it. I think it was after the stream, right? What time was it actually? It was such a horrible price action that we had. What time? 4 hour and between 2 and 6. I think we logged off before it just hit that level, because I was looking at that level continuously. It wasn't during the stream, I know that for sure, or I might have missed it. I don't know. I'll double check. I just want to double check that. What time did you hit? What time did you hit that level? Here, it was around here, right? At 5. Were we on stream still? I think so. Wow. I was really that's bad if I missed that. But I think we were still on stream yesterday at 5 a.m. 2 to 5. Did I do I can see it. That would really actually upset me a little bit if that was the case. I need to, well, I'll get over it. Anyway. Okay. Anyone else want to share their ideas or bias for London session, or maybe even New York session? The government is open again, but they haven't put back the news, so we don't have news planned. But I was hoping we will get our 8:30 candle again. Yeah. I was hoping for some news. Okay, now we just watch and wait to see if we can get an entry, right? We just watch and wait. Okay, so I marked this 4-hour FUG here, and we bumped into it, but we did not go into it yet. And we wait for a good entry. There is GBP news, but it was 2 a.m., but it didn't really move a lot, I think. Let me have a look again. Do you guys have that? Sometimes you have a time that you wake up and you're already tired. You don't know what it is causing. You're not sick or old, but just tired. I have no idea what's going on. I just wake up and I'm already feeling. We have this bloody rooster here though. I think maybe it's. I hate that rooster. I mean, they don't have any hens, and this guy got a rooster, and it's just it's just territorial and just makes noise all fucking day almost. And it starts early, but I do wake up early, but I do hate it to be woken up by something else than myself. I never use an alarm. I usually wake up at 4, but now he beats me. He beats me, that bloody thing. But anyway, I don't eat meat technically. I'm not a. I do eat fish, but I think when they are going to, I think I would happily eat the chicken soup where that rooster is going to be made of. So I'll make an exception for that one. I don't hope I insult anyone who have roosters. But hey, if you have hens, you should have roosters, right? But not when you don't have any hens. In a residential area, let me put it that way, because it's just it is sort of residential. Okay. Okay, guys, we just watch and wait again. I guess we we watch and wait until we find a good entry. Let's analyze, see if we can find some more little things we can work with. Okay, so I have this 4-hour FUG, which is significant. So I want to go to the lower time frame on this one to see if we don't miss anything, right? Like SMT. Well, maybe I think we might get SMT when it gets into here because it most likely will go out of it again. Okay, let's see. There's a lot of wicks continuously being created. We've got relatively equal lows here. Okay. Zero, 2, 1, 7, 2, 5. Well, I guess it's we can assume that we're going into that 4-hour fair value gap. I just want to make sure that we have proper levels, that we can take a good trade and frame it. Might not be a very large trade, but it's also something I do want to also get into taking smaller trades and not only looking for the large moves. So I think we just have to wait for time. And also, by the way, I noticed yesterday, I do have another tab with my first presented fair value gap of the morning session. And if you guys go back to when we tapped into that area where we made that SMT, it also tapped into a first presented fair value gap of Monday. Let me see if I can share that. I put that on a different, so I don't get enough, but I'll share it with you guys just to show the importance of it. Let me, I have to show this. Hold on. Yeah, here. Look at this, guys. So this is the first presented fair value gap of the Monday. Mondays are the most important ones. You always want them because if it taps into one of those levels, that's when you get the large move. And combine it with SMT and some other levels. But look here exactly. And I'm wondering, I can't imagine that I was on stream and I missed this, but if I did, that's huge for me because this is how I literally track all the important moves. SMT, first percent fair value gap. It was time. It was in a macro. This is model 2022. We have a pool. Well, you could still re-enter, but I wasn't interested in the market because of the 10-year bond. But if I would have seen this, I would have, I would have, been very aware. Like, okay, we're gonna get. Something is going to happen, especially with this move here, creating relatively equal, well, ascending. But here, look, first presented of Monday. So it's very important to track the first presented of the AM session because you'll see, and look where it went into. So that's also how I framed my trade. When I saw it went below this level, you have these, and I had some other confluences as well. But I didn't need much. It was to pass my evaluation. I thought, okay, I'm going to use this little move. And, where was it? It was this one here. So it just went through this as a knife. And I just went in, and on this wick, I added a little bit, and then I didn't need that much. And then it was okay, because if you know your levels, like, okay, what is and you calculate also, it's just multiple things you add up, and then you have a safe trade from here, a continuation trade, because there's this behavior, it gave away a lot, like boom, it wasn't ready, it wasn't ready to stop, yeah. So, but I just want to share that, how you see, it's just 5 a.m., boom. Keep it on your charts. If you don't want to overcrowd your charts, keep it on a separate one and just, write the levels down. If you see the move going up from here, and you see this one nearby, you already have this one. You should keep it in mind that, okay, if it taps into it and goes down, you added confluences. There you go. So. But it's a lot of data sometimes you have to look for, right? But it's when you start to get used to it and do it often, you get. I mean, I still miss some things, especially with SMT, because you want to keep your charts as clean as possible. So sometimes it's, but that happens, right? That's how you grow, I guess. And at some point, you will get less and less information that you look for to get, but. We need it. Yeah. Now, also what I find extra interesting when I use those TGIF levels, see already here, it's 20%. And even though we are not ready to either, but those levels are being used. And as you can see here, the 20% level matches exactly with first percent fair value gap. It's rejecting of it. So they're algorithmically already important. So I always use them already on Thursday. And then I see, okay, how's the weekly range candle going? What is it doing? Where are we in the full weekly range? And is it likely that we go lower or higher? Are we going to extend the weekly range, or are we going to range bound in the weekly range? On NQ, I could be deadly wrong, but are we not? We should go into that 4-hour FUG, right? That would be really, really weird if we do not take that, go into internal liquidity. And then back to external, maybe tomorrow. Maybe we're in a second TGIF. I wonder if it's going to be as beautiful as last Friday's one. That one was really beautiful. I really had a beautiful move on that one. But That will be a nice present, right? After a bloody week like this. Let me check if they moved some news maybe to tomorrow. I did check, but it might be popped in again. No, only yellow, yellow, yellow. And a lot of FOMC members speaking. Is my sound good? Let me check. Show this. Hold on. Yeah, my sound. Yeah, so yesterday what happened, I had an update, a Windows update, that screwed up my whole computer. My sound wasn't working, my microphone didn't give any sound. So I think it should be okay now, right? Just want to make sure. Just want to make sure. And did we create any fair value gap in the 132.2 2 a.m. So ICT commented on some questions that were asked, and one of them was by me, which he actually responded to. And he said the 150 to 2 macro is only used for the London session. So did we have anything? I didn't look at that yet on the 1 minute. We have a suspension block here. We started right over 130. That's this candle here. So I need to move it a bit. Just you move one candle here. 130 candles here. Now what do we have? I only see one, and that's this one here. That's the only imbalance. Well, no, actually not. We have this one here. It's a larger one. 149, 150. Okay. What am I doing? It should be 2. Okay, this is the high. But, what is the macro? What did we do in the macro? We went up, created 210. We created a high, and what happens when you create a high? You take out the high most of the times an hour later. So let's see. Is it macro time here? No, it's not macro time. Okay. Can't see. Now this large orange box, that's the first presented fair value gap of yesterday, 9:30 move. You see here? This is yesterday's first presented fair value gap. So and this one here, I don't know. I have to look into it. It's another one. So you can see it's rejecting, right? In the midpoint of the first presented, which obviously when you have a large first presented, it doesn't go in straight away. It's the entrance. It's so algorithmically, right? So it's the beginning of the first 4-hour fair value gap. It's obviously it's a first presented, and we are exactly at the midpoint of the first presented, bouncing off it. I'll disregard the other one. So maybe something smaller, but I do want to grade it. $230. Are we gonna get a run? I mean, we've seen this a lot, like breaker and then just retesting. It's sort of like it consolidates above the break and then it goes up, right? So it's just waiting for time, and it does it most of the time in that 230 in the 30 to 40 run. Breaker, an inversion. I'm just gonna wait a little bit. Just want a little bit more clarity. Just want a little bit of a better move. I know what I said. Yeah, I do want to scalp, but I do want to have just high prob. Like if I have a clear level that I know it's just a little bit that it still has to make that little run, right? Like for example, what I did yesterday on that move down. Like, oh, it's almost there, but I'll just take a little bit of that last little run. We're above 20% now. Let's have a look at gold quickly. Let's have a look at gold. Gold is part of the family now. Uh, God, gold is just moving again. It's just beautiful. Okay, maybe we should focus on gold a little bit better because I guess it's ready to rock and roll again. It's ready to party. This is the full FUT. 4 hour. So we're already in this fair value gap here. We took liquidity. I would like to see a little bit of a reaction somewhere and then maybe take a move up. So just let this run and then take a so we are, this is the weekly wick, right? And it's already above 25% now. So it means it's, let me double check. What was that wick? What did I measure here? What was it? It's not that. Also not that. Oh, it's this wick. I gotcha. It's this one here. Okay, we're gonna take it off now because we know the levels, right? So let's see what else. I'm more interested now in this area of that fair value gap, because we're going to go into that one. Now, what I really like to see, we've got a 2.5 standard deviation matching exactly with 0.5 of this wick. That's interesting. And I do trust the standard deviation that I'm using. Why? Because you can see it matched exactly at my 1.75 and it gave a retracement there. So I like to see that. It's either 1.25 or 1.75 that I use, and for the retracements to calculate my retracement levels. So I do trust the 2.5 here. So 4242. Let's see, we can get nice 4242. Where are we now? Okay, that's good enough on gold. 4242. Now I'm going to look for more confluences, because I want at least 3 or 4. 4242. 42. Shit. I have far less data on gold than I have on NQ, because I haven't been tracking it that long, so it's sort of a bummer. But 4242. Ooh. So on gold we have a monthly midpoint at 40. Where's my writing block? I need my writing block. Hold on, guys. I need to write down some stuff. My brain is getting old. I cannot remember everything, all those levels. I need to. Where's my pen? That's what you get. Gold. So there's an important level at gold at 4259. It's a midpoint of a monthly midpoint. Those are equally just valid liquidity points, midpoints, highs, lows, weeklies, dailies. You have to actually track all of them. So right now we're at the day. Obviously we're at the old daily high. So that's why we're bouncing around. We are at the daily high of yesterday's daily high, obviously. So it makes sense. But you see, there's just minor retracement, right? It's just minor. It goes down a little bit, so it indicates, I think, a lot of bullishness right now. But I'm very interested in that level here. Okay, what else can we? Overextended. Gold is very overextended, so it's hard to really get very correct levels, I guess. Extremely overstanding the range since yesterday. So that's the only difficulty. But once I start going, 4234. And obviously we've got the N walk, right? And we want to know the event horizon. Before I forget my event horizon. That is, so we have this event horizon here. Oh, we are above the event horizon. Duh. So this is the midpoint between these two, right? But we are above it already, so. I thought there was another N walk, but it's not. I'm mixing up with NQ. But let's see. I'm like this area. This is a nice area. We're gonna have some fun in this area here. I wonder if this is already a long here. Maybe I'm just gonna paper trade this for now, because I need to wake up a little bit. It's 239. It's 240. It's a little bit too early, but Still like this. So let's see, is there a breaker? Did we already retest this area here? Yeah. 4234. That's a midpoint here. I wonder if we are going to go a little bit lower because we have this. We don't have a breaker here. It's not a breaker. We already retested this area. It's 241. Are we maybe going to make that move? No, we're going to move it. It's no point. We're already above this one. We have a wick here. This is already mitigated. Let me check the 1 hour. No equals 175. Oh, we're tapping it. Okay, we're creating the weekly high. It might not be so handy to get into the trade now. We are at a two standard deviation, and we are at the weekly high. So it might need some more time. We got a flat bottom here in the 1 hour. Yeah, I'm getting out. This is not the time. It's the wrong time. Time is off. You see, standard 2 deviation is tapping into the weekly high, taking its time. Yeah, it might go up, but I just don't trust it too much. I'm not going to take a risk, even not on paper. I don't want to create bad habits. There's a lot of people that are going to trade the breakout, right? Breakout traders. And where will they put their stop? Ask yourself that. Where will they put their stop? It could break out like and go a bit 10 points higher. You can see that, and then it still goes down and maybe into. We did mitigate this wick already. How many? 1 hour. It is already 3 hours ago, so it could be already. Time could be ready. Let me go to the 4 hour. Here is the high. We have a new 4 hour candle here. We went into here. Maybe we're done. We'll see. We're just going to wait till the macro and get enough information. I just don't like this wick here, the flat body. But are we going to go? Is this candle going to go there? Why would it? Question is, are we going to get a continuation 4 hour candle, right? Here. Oh, are you? Is my other stream? What is my stream? Oh, I'm still on the wrong. I'm going over stuff, but you guys are seeing the wrong screen. You're seeing the wrong. I'm telling all kinds of stuff, but it's not the proper screen. Why is it not changing? Oh, okay, here you go. I was talking about this all the time, and you guys didn't see anything that I was talking about. I'm sorry about that, guys. Okay. School. Yeah, so I was going over the 4-hour candle here. Is it enough? Like, are we already done with the manipulation move to the downside on the 4-hour, and will we expand to the upside, right? Because that was my initial trade idea. But we do have a flat bottom with a large wick, so that is. But I might just go grab more liquidity and then go down to this area here. So I'm just sort of like thinking out loud. Like, do we have enough to go higher into this large fair value gap, and or are we, because we are at the weekly high now, but we're already at the weekly high for 3 hours because it was created at 11. So, but they do take, well, they took out the breakout traders already, right? So they were here and they put their stops here below the equals, obviously because they think it's support, and then we went lower, right? So retail's been taken out here. I'm just thinking if this would have been the end because fair value gap. So yeah, I'm sort of like inclined to go long, but I did have an entry here, but I just chickened out, I guess. Makes sense. Breaker. If I look at it now, I'm so slow lately. I don't know what's wrong with me. Look at that retest of the breaker. Yeah, see, it was a long. Just too damn slow now. It makes sense. Just gonna expand to this area here. Yeah, I think it's 4259, even higher. So I think I think this is really a good area if you're in a long on gold. Well, maybe we can enter as well on the in the macro. Just give us one little move to the downside. I think it's done. I think it's all mitigated now here. Oh, no. I think it's ready to pop. Here, 1 hour, and we are taking. I just don't trust 100% yet. Hey, Philip, how are you doing? Hey, Andre. Oh, those lines make me a lot of money. Those are those are fib calculations. They give me a lot of insights. I can tell you that. But yeah, no, it was. I don't know. That wasn't the screen. That wasn't the screen that I actually showed in the first place. But then I moved back. I used the. Sometimes you have to be when you switch around. It can do crazy stuff. Yeah, I'm still on gold. I think it's easier read right now, but let me check on NQ quickly. What are you guys? Are you trading anything at the moment? Are you in gold, or let me quickly go back because I think gold is ready to go higher into the FUG, but timing just yeah. You probably think, what is she talking about? What is she talking about? No idea what she's talking about. Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, so it's rejecting here in the midpoint of the, okay, that's a beautiful reaction, I guess. What is she talking about? I wonder myself, I hear myself rambling. So, and Q is rejecting of the midpoint of yesterday's first presented fair value gap and the 4-hour FUG. So, not ready to get into. So, this is also like, you know, you see all these just creating equal highs, equal 1 to like 3 points. This is in a macro, not yet. On the 4-hour, we've got relatively equal highs now. So I wonder now, if I see this one here, I wonder if we're going to take it out in this candle, or we're going to just have to wait till 6 o'clock and the new candle that we get the expansion in the other one, right? So if I see this, I'm already a little bit, I'm already like, okay, you know, NQ, I think I'm going to leave you for the next 4 hours, 3 hours, sorry. So it just doesn't even hit this level, and it just doesn't even, it's creating an equal. Okay, let's go back to, I like gold a little bit better now. Oh, look at that, even better now. This is a nice entry, maybe. But you see what it's doing? It's just creating equals, 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 and not taking it out. So that's why I'm a little bit, if it's the behavior on one, it most likely, you know, they sort of like mimic each other lately, I noticed. You know, the funny thing is, if I do my larger moves, I have confidence in the trade, and I sometimes now in these last few days, I just don't feel that, and I think it's a good thing. And well, I'm sort of upset that I might not have seen that move, because I think I was still on stream at 5 a.m. At 5 a.m. yesterday, and not seeing what was on, right? Or maybe not. I'll check. I need to check that. I think I don't know. But gold might pop. Gold might be a poppy, and I do really like this level here, 4242. But I think it might go higher to 4259 because we've got a monthly midpoint there. We're in a macro, so it might run now. Yeah, look at this. Tapped into this wick, mitigated that. This is an entry, guys. I mean, this is the run. Yeah, 250. Let's see. I think it's ready to go. I was looking at NQ, so I missed this entry here. But I'll watch it. 4242. Let's see if it breaks out or not. Is anyone in gold? It is, look, it's a beautiful retest here. Boom. 250 in a macro. It's ready to go. It's gonna go. So we do have SMT on silver. gonna go, it's gonna go, it's gonna go. Beautiful. This was just a market order in, boom, and then let's see if I can get another entry maybe. Damn, I'm a little bit upset missing this move, to be honest. Let's see. Where would I put my stop in this case? Below the breaker. This was the used breaker, so it would be the trade. And you use the yesterday's first presented fair value gap in the PM session and the first presented of the midnight range as well. So so once it goes into this, it invalidates the trade and you have your breaker. But you already, I mean, I don't want to trill. That's something I need to work on. I don't want to trill here already because you want the expansion first, right? You want a breakout. Who would just market order in after the breakout in this situation if it's in a macro? Honest question. Who would just do that? So we're already 3 hours touching the high. If it breaks out and we're in a macro, would you market order in this situation? If you miss this move, do we have any liquidity? I might, maybe. It's being honest. If I could see, we have an inversion here. So what I would do then, okay, let me just quickly, if I would just quickly inversion, if we would break out, how many points is this? But I really want to break out on this. This will be an entry as well here, 256. Okay, I'm going to paper trade this. I'm going to do it. I'm going to use the, because it's a high level, right? 3 o'clock. Oh, we didn't break out yet. Okay, see, I'm too tired. I'm too tired to put my money on the line now. I can tell you that. I'm very tired, guys. I'm extremely tired. Just really doing stupid things, but we'll see. I'll be punished for it. I have to journal it. I have to do the walk of shame. It's a paper trade. But we didn't break out yet. But if it would break out, this will be my trade. Is this it? Yeah, this is it here. So we have an inversion here. We don't want to see the inversion being. Am I doing it correctly? Yes. Okay. Now let's see. It already took out breakout traders here. Let me see. What did it do? 3 hours. Yeah. So this low is lower than this low. So I like that. It's not like I would not do it when this low would be lower than this low. Okay, there we go. Then I would not do it. But we went into this one, then we went another time. So it already took out these traders here. So I think that yeah. Okay. Time lines up. I'm not doing anything on my account because I'm not sharp enough. I need more coffee. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you need to have a good start. And you need to be. I'm really tired now, so I am really careful with my. And yeah. So I know I'm a little bit off. Yeah. But a reason for the long. Okay, let me go over that again. Now I don't like breakout trades because I hate that actually. But in some case, I'm just going over like when would you do some things and what would be the analysis. Um, I would. I saw here. Now I was already long biased, obviously, and on the higher time frame. Let me go to the daily quickly. Oh shit! Hold on. So when I feel very tired, I do not put my money on the line. I've done that and I always lost. So going over why. The 4 hour, hold on. So this large gap is the 4 hour fair value gap. We already rejected at a 1.75 of my fib levels, which is a retracement level here on the 4 hours. So I was looking at this and we went below the event horizon. So sometimes the event horizon is the midpoint between two NWOGs. So I consider that as premium discount. So just going below this level here is for me that is already a way of calculating that the market has enough gone to discount to go back into premium. So when I see this here, I know, okay, we are back above it and we're going to run. Now, I have marked this 2.5 fib level, but it also matches up with a calculation. You see all these lines here. People make fun of my lines and my grains, but hey guys, you'll start seeing at some point how valuable they are. I love wicks and I love big wicks. You see this wick here? ICT taught us in his last teachings how to use those premium discount wicks. So I've been testing them the last few weeks. And the lines that you see here is this wick. Because if you have a large fair value gap, it's hard to frame your TP, right? Because where will my TP go? So in this case, I might miss this beautiful trade, but it's okay, guys. I hope we all learn from it. And that's the most important thing for me having this channel. So using this wick gives me an direction, like where could we go into this higher time frame, larger per 4 hour fair value gap. I did not use the daily, but the daily is it was actually smaller, I think, right? Let me just double check again. Yeah, the daily is, well, no, never mind. Forget about it, what I said. But using this wick, matching up with my 2.5 first percent, my fib. Now we have a 50%, so we could have a little stop here, but you have to some point just trust some levels. 2.5 here, matching up with 0.5 of this wick. I do think that's a valid a point, but we'll have to see how the market reacts. This is if it goes to that direction, it's a fucking wonderful, it's a beautiful trade, but we'll see. It might reject here at 3.3. Let's see, what level are we at? I had 4234, so we might have a little bit of a stop there. What level are we at? But I do think 2.5 is a very good point here. It's a fucking good trade, actually, but I'm not in it. I'm just paper trading it. Even this trade is already good. I would already take my money and run. Is it clear my logic, or because I know I'm a little bit tired, Charles? Did I explain it correctly? If I not, I have to go over it again. So I expected a little retracement at 34ish. That's all okay. Not worried about that. Now you see the first presented has been printed. Now I do not want actually to see price go below that, to be honest. See here what's happening? This is what I like to see. Boom. Here I would, if I would be in this trade, I would add here when I see this. This will be an add for me. I'm not doing it. You see the reaction of the first presented? Beautiful. And I'm using time. We're in a macro because of things are lining up. It's a macro still. If this would be outside macro, I would not do that. Damn, this is a beautiful trade. It's fucking beautiful. Yeah, it's okay. Is someone taking it? Just beautiful. Just effing beautiful. Okay, now because we are, and I would get out around now. In this case, what I would do now, I would not. I would take one off here when we make one more spike up because I have that level here because we're getting at the end of the macro. We get one more spike and I would take it because it's a good move already. I might get out here now already, maybe. Is it 100 ticks? I want 100 ticks. I want 100 ticks. Boom. Enough for me for this macro. I think it's going to run higher, but yay! I wasn't in it, but I think I think it deserves some a little. I'm giving this myself. Yeah, 100. I mean, 100 takes 25 points, right? On gold. Who managed to bank on it? I mean, it's still going, but this is how I would manage it. I would take one off and let a runner maybe run, but it's also sort of like, it's enough. I mean, think about it, 25 points on gold, $2,500 if you have a gold, or if you play the micro, it's 250. And let's say you put 4 or 5 micros on. It's a lot of money, just be happy and then just, you can watch it for the rest. You don't have to sit through the stress that it goes down, and then, well, we'll watch it. So the level that I had was right over here, right? 4242. Let's see. So you see, I said it most likely will reject 34, and it's also the end of the macro, so that makes sense to me. That was the level that we could expect where it would stop. But I don't think it's done yet, but it could retrace here. Just minor, but yeah. Now, Andre, that 4234, that's one of those lines that you saw that gave me the clue that it would do this exactly at the end of the macro, and that there will be a chance of a possibility of retracement. So that was one of those lines that you were looking at and like, hey, what are all those lines? And exactly for this, to help me navigate, like, okay, what can I expect? Where could we stop? Where would be the turn? So exactly that. Because how would I know 4234, right? Because I mentioned it a couple of times. Said, okay, 4234, I might take one off. Where are we? 4234. End of the macro. And look, so it helps me navigate my trades, even though I framed it a little bit higher. I'm sort of like, okay, it did not make them move as fast then I know already, because I have this level in my mind. If it gets like 5, 6 past the hour, 7, and what time did it go? Yeah, okay, at 9 past, but I got out around this candle, right? So I thought, okay, I'm not going to wait for it because I just don't want to sit through this again. But I'm almost sure it will go higher. But sometimes you just want to, you don't want to wait another whole macro or another, because it's a lot of time when you have to wait from macro to macro. And you know that I can get very impatient then. So then I just don't have to. Did anyone could anyone take that gold trade? But hey, listen, the better entry, there was a much better entry which I missed because I think I was just going over NQ, and then that was the entry and I already got out, which I shouldn't have done. But yeah, there was a better option. It was quite solid already here. This should have been the proper entry, right? And then what I said, so this should have been it right over here. And then, well, I could even go to here, but I took it off here. So let's just, this was the actual trade that I made. And then I would use, well, this is literally turtle soup, to be honest, because there's no breaker. It's already below the breaker. So I most likely would have done this here. Or maybe, no, because I don't want it to, I just want to tap into this one here. $250. It's literally, this would be a turtle soup, to be honest. Why would I go here? We already mitigated this. We already here. It wouldn't go below this. I would use the stop. No, this would literally be a zero drawdown trade. Why? I'll tell you why. You see this wick here, and this wick. This is there's no imbalances in this area anymore. This is balanced. Boom. This can't be true. Well, it doesn't. Nah. Well, 43 R trade. Well, yeah. Okay. This would have been a turtle soup, but I missed it. So then I got in, I got out. Beautiful trade. I must say so. But I didn't bank on it, guys. I'm not in it. Which sucks, actually, a little bit. What happens? It happens. 40, 42. 42.59. So this is still my 40.42. Let's see how it behaves there. 40.43. Is anyone still in that gold trade? Did anyone bank on it? It's a beautiful trade. So I can't see the chat anymore because Google tells me that they have. I cannot open YouTube because it says unusual traffic from your IP address, and also on when I open chat on I can't access. That is ridiculous. Here we go. I can't see the chat. Okay, I can see the chat when I log in from my other account, my personal account. So I can, if there's anything, guys, I can read it again. But on my, that is weird. But anyway, whoopee. Okay, well, that was a nice. I want to see. I want to see if it goes to 242 or even 242.59, because I do believe there's more room for the movement to the upside. Hey, listen, I'm a little bit. Of course, I'm upset when I'm not in a trade like that because it's, but it's like a bust. They always come around again, and it's always good. You learn from it, and next time I'll be in it. Um, but I'm also very careful when I feel tired nowadays. I just, I would rather be when I'm not that fast, and especially when you have a new funded account. It's always better to let it rest one day. It sounds really weird, but sometimes it's just you're very eager, right? When you have a new one, you're like, oh my god, let me start. You want to start filling it. Let it rest one day. Focus on another evaluation or on another account that you have running. So you don't get that initial like, oh my god, I wanna take it, and especially having a large move like this on it. So it's like you you'll see just always some nice backfire. So I'm always like calm down a little bit, and then I want to see it go to 4.2. What did I say? 4.242, right? I want to see that tagged in because that was my initial trade. what did I say? 4-2. Four two five nine. Oh yeah, this is the 4242. Yeah, that's the level where but we could also reject here because it's a 1/3 line here as well. And it's 20 past. Okay, let's see. So we might need some time to get over this here because this is always an important level as well. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if we can get the. Let's quickly have a look at NQ. Okay, I don't like that too much now. Gold is much cleaner. What's that? Hello, Dolly. Well, I hope somebody banked on that long. I really hope. It would make me happy if somebody did, to be honest. Or at least learn something from that trade. Okay, I like that. So obviously we have the normal macros, but for if you have a run like this and if it's on a mission, price also uses the 2240 macro, right, to make miles and to sometimes what it does not do, it does not really tap into the liquidity yet. So like for now, like I have this level, this was my point of interest, right, the 42.42. But let's see if it can get into this within the 2240 run, or is it just going to stay in this? Because the 1/3 lines are very important as well. They use them for rejection a lot. That's how I also, but if it's going to go over this one will be for sure tagged in. And then if it goes over there, we have 4259. Where is that? So that's already over this wick. Yeah. Look, it's on a mission. It's on a mission. So once you can establish that the 4-hour candle is going to expand, it makes it also easier to frame your levels, right? But I hesitated here a little bit too much, and yeah. Well, you guys saw what happened. I just didn't want to get in anymore. Besides paper trading. My 2 weeks ago I had a 120 point move on gold. I banked on that, and I had two micros on one. I took one off at 60 points, 60 or 70, I can't remember, and the other last one was 120 points. That was insane. When everything lines up and you understand the 4-hour, you know you're in a distribution 4-hour candle, and you manage to get in the manipulation move, right? So this is the manipulation here of the 4-hour. Now I would not have called that. I would have called this one here and not this. But and then you write the expansion up. And that's power 3 AMD, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Now here I must be honest, I don't see the manipulation. Well, actually, I have to look at it. Where's 2 o'clock? This is hard. This one is hard to read to get here. I mean, It had to be here. I could not get into this area here. But this was a good. I was looking at it, but then I just hesitated, and then I got in at the inversion on a paper trade, which was still awesome. It was a breakout trade, and hey guys, I don't like breakout trades, but this was just, I know I missed this one. I knew I missed this one. If I would be fit enough and not so tired, I would have traded the breakout in this situation. But hey, don't tell anyone that that we do breakout trades, because that's actually that's so retail. That's very retail. You want to get in before the breakout, right? But sometimes, but what happens in our stream stays in our stream. But sometimes you just don't want to miss the move, right? Yeah. And things line up, you're in a macro, you have your levels, sometimes you can justify it, let me put it that way. But hey, generally speaking, we don't do breakouts. We are in before the breakout. Let that be clear. Let that be clear. But I think it's important also to just, to see like, hey, if it happens and you miss that entry, would you still be able to get in? And, I think I showcased that today, that sometimes you can, if you just have enough data, right? And you can trust the analysis enough. And look, but it still sucks. Okay, let's see. So for me, it's important as well because I framed the trade until here. Like, okay, would I've, if it didn't get into the macro, could I have sit through the little bit of the retracements, and for next time, I don't have to get out and I just stay in because I know, you learn so much from every trade. If you journal it, like, okay, next time I'll give it time to, for example, 3:30, or maybe I do have to wait till the next macro, and you just don't want to sit an hour through consolidation. Just let me put it that way. If it's a small amount of points, it's not worth it, right? But if it's a larger move, yes. So, but I framed it. This was my level that I said, okay, I trust this level enough for the trade. Now I do think that we have 4259. Oh, which is also, oh, that's also the monthly. Okay. I wonder if we're going to grab that within the next macro. It's interesting. Yeah, I want to see what time it hits this level here, because this was my my TP. And did you guys also see when I said, oh, I would add here, how the reaction was at this candle, right? You saw this this candle was created here, or this fair value gap, and you saw the reaction here. Boom! It was an immediate retest. Those are retests you can use, and if you saw exactly it just moved away from it. And I said, okay, this is an add for me. If I would be in that trade, I would definitely add here. Because this is just, that was just beautiful. That was so clean. This is such an algorithmic signature. Like, I'm not going down anywhere. I'm not going up. I'm on a mission. And you don't have to wait, because normally what you do if you see one of these formed, you wait for a retest and then you take it back up. But this was the retest already. Now this is going to be a nice rejection block later on. Yeah, there's a lot of information in this area already. Might be gold all day today. I like it. I like it. It's nice. It moves very nice and clean again. And it did not do it last week. I mean, I avoided it last week all week. I did not like it at all. Oh, yeah, level hit. Look at that. What time? 3:30. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Now, I want to see what happens here at 3:30 exactly. Now, 4259. Let me see. Let me just double check. 4259. Look at this beautiful pen. This is just beautiful. Just beautiful. Amazing. But was it a clear accumulation, manipulation, distribution? It was a little bit hard. Accumulation. So you have like a double distribution, like a double accumulation here. This made it really hard to read. Accumulation, little move up again. A little bit of a. But this in the macro 250. Boom. Okay. Oh, it's going over already. Look at that. Wow. Now, the only thing is, guys, if you have a move like this in London, the AM session might be a little bit slow, right? If we're going to move all the way into pre-market, oh shit, ow. Might be a bit slow in the AM session. Okay, let's see. Now, where did we exactly go to? Over it a little bit. How many points? 4244. So 2 points over. Okay, I want to see a nice reaction here. Okay, now we might get a larger pullback because of the import. This is like, there are two confluences lining up for me. It's my standard deviation plus it's the midpoint of a discount wick. So it's this wick here. See on the daily if there's any. So for me already, this information is important. Why? Because I wouldn't want to sit all the way through the next macro, meaning the 350 to 410 macro. But if I enter that macro on the 250 and I just have to wait till 330, that's okay for me to have sit through that trade. So next time, if I see a similar setup, I know, okay, I'm willing to wait. Let that runner, because I would have taken one off where I did, and then let the runner run until 3:30ish. So I know, okay, because I use time in my trading a lot. It's not just the price that I'm looking for, but also it has to be met in specific areas of time. So but I wouldn't be okay sitting a whole through hour, another macro, the 10 to 10 after for this trade. If it's a larger move, I would have, but because I framed this as an area of interest, I'm fine with this move. I just would, just leave this then for later and just do something else and come back later and have another trade. But yeah. So this would have been my trade then, total trade. 4-2. Beautiful. Two, 5, 2. Hey, Powell. How are you doing? Anyone any questions about that trade? Anyone any specifics? It was a beautiful trade. I didn't bank on it because I was just too tired. I just frame it out, but I chickened out when I don't know why, and then I saw it running, and I still. But then again, I would have, I said I would do the breakout if, in case I would be fit enough in this. Like, when would I do a breakout trade? Because sometimes we miss a trade, but then if there's enough things lining still up and the move is still significant, would I still do it? So I just wanted to share that honestly with you guys. Like, when would I go into a breakout trade? This is one of the situations. So. But like I said before, we don't do breakout trades. It's only in secret sometimes. We don't tell. We get in always before the breakout, right? But sometimes we don't. Thank you for subscribing. Hey, Avneet, how are you doing? How's it going? Did you manage to bank on the gold trade? Did you manage to bank on that gold trade? I bet you did. I bet you did. Or you were not behind your laptop. But if you were behind your laptop, you probably banked on it. You would have. I'm sure you would. So we see now it is sort of stalling right at exactly at that 2.5 and this level here. So as expected, then we have to wait for the next macro, and that might finalize the move, or it's just going to futz around now. So yeah, this would have been my, well, guys, I framed it already. I said this would be my level, my TP. If I would have, if I wouldn't be so tired and not being feeling the way I would have banked nicely on this one. But sometimes you don't. It would have been a fucking turtle soup here. It's a bit annoying, but it's actually a lot annoying. Now let's quickly have a look at an LON trade for you. Okay, well, it was a beautiful move. I didn't bank on it myself. I don't know what's wrong with me. I did frame it, and I had a good entry, and then I chickened out of it, and then it was already running, and then I actually framed a breakout trade, which I'm not a breakout trader, but it was still beautiful, and my TP got hit. If I would have banked on it, it would have really been a very nice trade. But yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, gold is moving beautiful. It was a nice, it was a weird power of 3 in a way. If you look at the 4-hour candle, how the 4-hour, the manipulation move, the wick was actually behaving. But in hindsight, it was still beautiful. It moved better than NQ this morning. So Yeah, so it's nicely responding at the 2.5 level. Levels are working, so I'm always, I'm happy to see. So I know now if we're because it was a bit off last week. I didn't touch gold at all, and now I see my levels are lining up again, and it's doing what I think it would do. So that gives me more confidence also in for the AM PM session. So I'll make up for the not getting into this trade, even though I saw it properly. So yeah. Avni, do you never trade London? Are you just watching London most of the times, or do you also trade London? Let me quickly look at NQ again, guys. Okay, let's see what NQ is doing. What are you doing, NQ? What are you doing? Being annoying. Oh, NQ is still within the N walk. See that, guys? It's still within this large N walk here. So the bodies. Let me get. I just want to get rid of this for now. I want to. It's so. I think NQ is going to explode to the upside. Why? I'm going to get rid of. Let me just get rid of this. Y and Q. Look at the daily. I know there's some new people here. Look at we're in this big N walk. We've been in this N walk for 3 days within the monthly range, right? Or in the daily range of Monday. This Monday, the big blue candle. Then look at all this day: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But they're all in the N walk. The wicks went out of it, but the bodies are in the N walk, but above the midline. Now, who's going to be bearish seeing that? Who's bearish on NQ? Higher time frame. Now, the only thing we need to work through is this wick. This is a rejection block now, right? But we are doing that right over here already, right? All these points, boom, boom. But I do want to see it go a little bit higher, and then, but we don't want to see a body close. But then again, it's a full daily candle, right? So it's hard. You're going to see the body because it's not a wick during the day. While the candle is forming, we will see a body going below it. But the day should end. We want to see it go out of this more. If you go to the 4-hour, you'll see bodies below the midpoint, but on the daily you see clearly, right? Here you can see it, but it's still, yeah. It looks very bullish to me, NQ. So, and like I said, we just rejected off in the midpoint of yesterday's first presented fair value gap, the morning session, and the entrance of the 4-hour fair value gap. So I guess this is all engineering. It's all engineering liquidity to go up, to get out of this area here. So I think we get some nice opportunities on NQ later on. Gold might be a little bit, because we had such a nice move already. It might be AM session. I don't know if we're going to get a nice move in pre-market AM session on gold. But hey, NQ, well, that's why it's nice to have two instruments, right? But gold might keep on running. Yeah. Oh, you have college, so New York is perfect for me. Oh, that's not. Okay, so yeah, that's good. Lately, NQ and I don't get along too well. Hey, tell me about it. Yeah. It's okay for it to have its moods, I guess, and then we just. But I think we might get a nice move on NQ later today. Let it just create liquidity to the upside, and then we attack it. But I do think there's more room also to the upside on gold. But now we're getting into we're actually out of the. Oh, there is a day. Yeah, see, that's what I meant. The daily fair value gap is smaller on NQ, on gold. Hold on. Am I seeing it? Yeah, see, because this is the 4-hour. That was what I wanted to show you guys here. Yeah. But this is the 4 hour here. Yeah, you see, so now that's exactly, let's go to the daily. So we might be done. That's why we rejected here. Daily, you see the daily, if I move this box here, it's going to be like this, right? We're already out of it. So that's why I left it on the 4 hour, because we have more. But what you can also do, you can leave this one and then use this wick, right? This full wick. It's the same. And where did we reject? At the 0.66 at 1/3 level. So you can do it both ways. It doesn't really matter. But because I saw the 4 hour being a little bit bigger, I used the 4 hour. But it's always good to keep in mind that if the higher time frame is smaller, you have to keep in mind, like, okay, what's going to happen, because you're out of the daily fair value gap already, right? So that's why I used the 4 hour, but I was aware of the that the daily was so that's why I framed my trade just to this level here and not higher, because we're already out of the daily. So I don't expect it to fill this full 4 hour fair value gap, right? So that's the reason why I framed it to here using a different wick, right? So I used this one here, but you can use some. Did I use this one? Yeah. And also you saw this 2.5 lining up with the 0.5 of this premium discount wick. But when you use the other way, I already did that. When I used the daily and I used that other wick, it was the wick that was outside the fair value gap. We rejected off a 1/3 level. Now Avneet knows that I'm crazy about the 1/3 level. Actually, I made a short about it. I think about a month ago or maybe 2 months ago already. But the 1/3 levels, they tell you a lot, and especially they give you information on retracements as well. So I use that a lot. So I love wicks. The bigger, the better. For me, they don't do the damage. They tell me actually the story. And that's why I usually get my TPs. Really, I can really sometimes, they really give me direction for where my TP would be. So, but here. So because I already calculated the one with the daily and the other wick, and I noticed that it's the same using another wick, but it's just a different metric, right? Instead of the 0.5, it was a 0.66. So that's why I would not go higher than this on my analysis on this trade. So this was my highest TP for this trade. Even though I did not, on the paper trade, I got out at the other level because I thought, do I want to sit through another macro? No, I did not, because I already, let me just get out. But you guys saw that I did frame the trade initially up to here, right? To 42.42 with that reason. But hey, this is going to go into my journal, and 3:30 it hit that level instead of the macro. It's all good. But it still sucks missing a trade like that. When you see it, you just don't bank on it. But that's the life of a trader. And Kit can relate to that. Doing analysis and execution are two different worlds. Sometimes you are doing really well with your analysis, but your execution just sucks, or you cannot pull the trigger, or what. It is once you start streaming, you'll figure that it's really weird. Sometimes you're on point and you see it and you can frame it, and but your energy is just only going towards that, and the execution is just you just don't, either you do it and you mess up, or you just well, you guys saw it happen real time. We're just being human. I guess that proves that I'm not AI. I had someone say last time that he thought that I was AI. It was so weird. No, just being human and not being able to bank on everything. All good. Hey guys, I'm almost at 300. So thank you so much for subscribing. You know, I actually don't mind about. I'm not interested in the large numbers. I really want the quality over quantity. So really building a nice community. But it's always exciting when you get to one of those numbers, right? It's like little milestones. So it's exciting. We're getting there. I never thought that it would go this fast, to be honest. You know, but hey, here we are. So yeah, so let me see if let's wait. Oh, we're in the last macro, the last macro that I'll do live. And I think I need to get a little bit of extra sleep. Just let me take a little nap or something to make sure that I'm a little bit fitter. I don't know why I'm so tired. I'm just really exhausted lately. I think it's because that bloody rooster wakes me up all the time. Um, hold on, guys. Here we go. Macro time on NQ. So what do you study, Avneet? What are you doing in school? What are you doing? That's so awesome. Being so young and just trading on the side already and being very good at it already and just also doing your study. That's really amazing, Avneet. I'm really proud of you. I love to hear that because we have a few of these youngsters. You're very young. That are really doing well in trading already and building a career beside it. So you know, these guys will do very well. So young and already like really, spending their time so well. I wasn't doing that when I was really young, to be honest. I had no idea what I really wanted to do for a long time. So I wish I knew sooner that trading was something I really liked. But I guess life, things happen for a reason. You always learn, but for everything, anything you do, you learn from it. Um, Anything you do. But is it clear about for everyone about the one with the daily fair value gap being smaller than the 4 hour and how you have to also take that into account when that happens, right? Because it's significant information. You always have to be aware that if that's the case, that you have to take into account that the higher time frame is smaller, so it will leave a part of the 4 hour open, maybe not all the time, but because it already met its higher time frame objective, right? If that makes sense. And a daily objective has a little bit more value than the 4 hour, right? So it doesn't mean that the 4 hour will stay empty, but that's why you can expect a little bit more rejection there. So that's why I framed the trade only on gold at that until that level at 2.5. I hope I'm explaining it properly because I might not be well in my because I'm a little bit tired. I might not use my words that well today. So that's why give me feedback on that if I need to. Just some coding. Okay, well, hey, I heard that the best traders come from computer science and computer application stuff. So just some coding. Hey, who knows? You might be doing some algorithmic coding. I saw a really nice YouTube. Somebody who is who actually is part of the. He writes the code for the algorithm for quantum trading. It was a very. I'll post it in my Discord, in the Discord, for some people to watch. I think I still have to finish it, but it was very interesting what he was saying. You know, comparing discretionary traders to people that really have more compared to how they take into account they're building the algo actually against the discretionary traders because they use that information. It's very interesting because I do know one discretionary trader who was actually doing really well, but I did so wow, there was some trades like wow, that's so unnecessary to take that loss, right? Because we look more into the technical science, and they don't take that into account in any way. So, but he did very well. Don't get me wrong, but there was still some things like wow, you could do so much better if you know. It was very funny to see. I don't think I will become a discretionary trader. Maybe I try to combine it a little bit, but discretionary, I would really rather have more logical. Try to have everything framed as much as possible and make it as mechanical as possible. That's why that's really what I would like to have. It just takes the emotion out, right? I mean, if it's more mechanical, it's just, you know, just on data based and time based, just takes out the emotion. It just becomes very mechanical. No stress. Just do whatever. Yeah, okay. You know, I'm already seeing this 410, this 350 to 410 macro on NQ. Yeah, it doesn't make me excited at all. Let's see, gold. Is gold doing anything? Is gold just moving? Okay, so this, you know, this level is going to be, we're going to go into consolidation, maybe a bit lower again. That's what I expect on gold. So I think both NQ and gold will not give so much on this macro. So I guess I'm going to leave it at here and try to get my get a nap or something. I don't know what I'm going to do, but just get a little bit make sure that I'm not so tired for the New York session. And I'm looking forward to the New York session, to be honest. Looking at the price action, I'll wait for another 10 minutes. See, that's me. I love tape reading. We'll wait the full because I might do a drop. I think it's going to drop a little bit, or just consolidate here, but. Well, we'll wait until 410. Just wait for the last macro. Because the macros I love. This is my favorite macro. And the 4 o'clock is my favorite time during the day. And Avneet, that's actually something that Kit, I learned that my 410 model is actually, he doesn't use it as much anymore, but I really, and I'm like, Kit, why are you not, I said hi in his stream yesterday. I went, because I wasn't streaming in the morning. And I said, listen, he says, yeah, do you remember the 5:05 time? But he, you know, he has this, like, he's a genius, right? He knows a lot about time. I said, no, but I do remember the 410. That's actually the model that I live off. Thanks to you. But when I watch his stream, he doesn't even use it anymore. I'm like, Kit, come on, what's your 410? It's so crazy. He doesn't implement it as much as he used to. But that model is just gold. I mean, that is. So I only use funded next. So I passed my account yesterday and that moved down. And I only use funded next nowadays because I just love them. Preferably the rapid, but by accident I bought the legacy, so it took me a little bit longer to pass the challenge. Because you need to do 5 days on the legacy, and with the rapid you can pass it in 1 day, right? But on both you have a consistency, so that's the same. And the difference with the legacy and the rapid, also in funded, is that on legacy, unfortunately, you need 5 days to get payout, but on the rapid 3 days. So I just need 2 more days, but it's okay. I mean, see, I made a mistake. I bought the wrong one because they dropped in. I don't know. They dropped in price, so I didn't. The price was suddenly similar, so that's why I did not see the difference. I guess there was 1 or 2 days that they had a special, and then there's the legacy was the same price as the rapid, so I bought the wrong one. But it's okay. I mean, it's, just need two more days. What do you trade? Any prop from? But no, and you know why I like them? They have fast payouts, and if they don't meet their, they don't match, they pay you $1,000 if they are too late. But they always pay on time. They're very good, and I think they're one of the best now. And me being in South Africa, I can use them. I cannot use Top Step anymore. Oh, thank you, Libertarius. That is the biggest compliment that I can get. That someone is learning, and even though that I didn't bank on the trade, that somebody else at least learned something, because that's what I was also looking for when I go to streamers. It's just, you know, hanging out, but also learning something, and that's what my intention is to do. So, and if that comes across, even though I might not be so good in words today, yeah, thank you so much for that compliment. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway for today, I think, is the looking at the fair value gaps, right? So the daily and the 4-hour on gold. So look at that and see how it behaves. So if you do see that, take into account that the objective on the daily has been met, right? And then the 4-hour, so that's where people go, that's where I would use to go wrong as well. Like, hey, what's happened? Why is the 4-hour not being filled? Well, that's because the daily is already filled. And it doesn't matter. You can use both. I used the 4-hour, but I just wanted to, that's why I used it in the hope I could showcase it. Like I was hoping that we could get the rejection here. So I can showcase that, okay, look, it's just going here. That's why I took my profit. I would have only framed the trade to here, but it doesn't matter which wick you use. It was either 0.5 and or the midpoint or the 1/3 level of the other wick on the daily, right? Giving this rejection. Now it could still go up because if we're going to go up to higher levels, it's still possible, but we're getting to a big order block or a big block here, right? So yeah, so I think that's the biggest takeaway for today. If you have a higher time frame, smaller fair value gap than the lower time frame. Okay, what are we doing? So we created 4 o'clock, but we're below it now. Yeah, I mean, it's just all doing everything that it's supposed to do, right? It's just going to go down. It will use the macro to make some downward movement. Let's see if it gets all the way to this area here. Now, the only thing that I did not use today is I did not look at the 132. I want to do that properly as well. The 132, because that's the new ICT. I just want to mark it to see if we get maybe a retracement to that area, right? Now this one, why did I mark this one? I can't remember. Oh, this was why I framed the trade, right? If I would do the breakout and no, this was the inversion, yeah. Hey, but this would have been a really nice turtle soup. This one, all the way from here to here. But anyway, I just want to mark the 1:30 to 2 a.m. move because according to ICT, what he shared was that that is the range you want to use in London. And then in the last video, in the same video, he went over the 632 7 range and the 730, was it 732 8? I have to watch that again, that one. But I just want to mark out the 130. Now, wow. So this one was the 130, the first presented, because this was 129, and this was 133, but this one was the most juiciest one. Let me show you. Wow. This is what he said. Okay, this is what he said. You want to see it, so this is the one, but you want to see it break through, and this was the retest here. And this should have been the entry for this, for the long. So in London, you do want to frame the most salient fair value gap, right? Which is this one. It goes below it, then you have a pass through it, and then you have the retest here. And that's your entry for the long. But beside that, I use also the first presented fair value gap of midnight. So that also gave you information, but you don't have a proper retest, right? But this one, if you would have used this one, this is your retest. Wow. I missed that information. I did not go over it. But hey, here we go. Mark the fair value gap and keep it on your charts for the whole London session, and maybe even from Monday. What I did see, the Monday one gave the retest in Asia, where I know some people banked on that move to the upside on NQ. So I don't know if it's only if it's only usable in London, but I guess it was the good entry if you see this here happen. It works because you have a high, a low, and then it goes lower, and then this one doesn't go even into it. And like I said, but then again, I would still got this would have been my best entry. I would not. I don't think I would get in here straight away. I think I would more information. But this one at 250, boom, this was it. Okay, guys. I'm gonna leave it at here. Let me check if there's any more questions. Oh, look at that, Nasdaq. We did move. This was a nice move, I guess. Okay, what's happening now with the Nasdaq? You grade this wick, the rejection block. This is a rejection block, and you mark the areas where it's rejecting. We have a flat bottom. We might go lower because this is already liquidity, this is liquidity, this is liquidity. And now we're using this as a rejection block, and I guess this will become liquidity. So I do expect one or two moves up before we go down. I do think we might have a little bit lower in the tank, right? Because we do have this. We might not be so bullish today. Well, let's see. But if you want to trade NQ, just mark this wick and just watch where it. Well, you don't have to watch. You know, it most likely will reject one of those levels here, maybe even 0.5. But yeah, and then maybe it's not ready to pop yet. Maybe not. We'll see. Maybe this is enough for it to go further back up, but maybe not. We'll see. I will definitely look into it later on, but for now, I'm just going to take a little nap. Any more questions? Anything before I head off? Yeah, as a charter, I watched mainly gold today. It was a nice move on gold. But NQ, yeah, I think NQ might have a little bit more room to the downside, maybe, and then go up. But I really have to look more into it, I guess, before really taking a trade on it. So, but yeah, hey, I'm looking forward to today. It's Thursday, and I think we might have some nice price action, right? So everything is like loosening up a little bit, and even though there's no news, I think they still might use the 830 candle for a little bit of a pop. We'll see. We'll just watch. 4 a.m. macro played. Yeah, I wasn't watching NQ. Like I said, I'm slow today. That's why I'm not putting any live trades on because like I said, I'm just not really. My analysis is good today, but my execution is shit. I'm too tired to really execute on it. All my energy went into the analysis, and that was it. I didn't have much left in the tank. So I did put a paper trade on, which worked out fine. It sort of sucks. My gold, I mean, it was a pretty good trade, but it's okay. Um, we'll see. I'll be back in the afternoon. I'm ready to attack. I'm gonna attack and be ready for it, and be like a sniper and waiting for the execution to be. And then everything will line up. So anyway, guys, I want to thank you so much for hanging out again and anticipating. And I'll see you guys later on in the New York session. So enjoy the day, touch some grass, and Avneet, have success in your school as well. Thank you, Libertinarius. Thank you for the compliment again. I really appreciate it. Thank you.